Welcome to Probability and Statistics course. So in this lecture, I'm going to cover few examples on addition and multiplication and conditional probabilities. So here is the first example. First problem is capital A speaks truth in 75% cases and B in 80% of cases. Find the probability that they are likely to contradict each other in stating at the same fact. So here A individual probability and B individual probabilities is provided. So here A speaks truth represented as capital A and B speaks truth event is represented as capital B. So here probability of A is 75%, that is 3 by 4. Probability of B is 80%, that is 4 by 5. So at what point they are contradicting each other? So there are two possible cases. One is when A is saying truth, B is not saying truth. That is A is A intersection B complement. So this is one scenario. In another case is A is saying lies and B is saying truth. So in these two situations, both are contradicting to each other. So either event 1 we are taking as probability of A intersection B complement, and event 2 we are taking A complement intersection B. So probability of A union B, using addition law, we know that probability of probability of E1 union E2 is equals to probability of E1 plus probability of E2 minus probability of E intersection E1 intersection E2. But here in this case, two events A and B, two persons are mutually exclusive, so that we don't have the term E1 intersection E2, or else we can say there is no common things between these two events, event 1 and event 2. So the intersection between E1 and E2 is equals to 0. That's why we are ignoring the term. So probability of E1 union E2 is equals to probability of E1 plus probability of E2. So where probability of an event 1 is nothing but probability of A intersection E1. So probability of A intersection B complement, and probability of E2 is A complement intersection B. So probability of A intersection B. So using multiplication law, probability of A intersection B complement is probability of A into probability of B complement plus probability of A intersection B is equals to A complement intersection B is equals to probability of A complement into probability of B. So using the multiplication law, when the two events are mutually exclusive, for example, if you want to get the probability of A and B, that is nothing but A intersection B, and here A and B both are mutually exclusive events, a disjoint event, then the respective probability will be probability of A into probability of B. Using the same condition we are applying for the event 1 and event 2. So this is probability of A into probability of B. So similar way, probability of A is provided as 3 by 4 and B complement. So B is saying 4 by 5 times truth. So the remaining is 1 by 5 times he is saying lies. So that is the probability of B complement. So here probability of B complement is 1 by 5. So this is B bar. So probability of B bar is 1 by 5. Similarly, probability of A, that is nothing but A is saying truth 3 by 4 times, then saying lies is probability of A complement, which is 1 by 4. So probability of A complement, A bar, is equals to 1 by 4. This is A. So just applying those values, probability of A is 3 by 4, probability of B complement is 1 by 5, plus probability of A complement is 1 by 4, and probability of B is 4 by 5. After simplification, we are getting answer is 7 by 20. So the possibility both are contradicting to each other is 7 by 20. Go with this example. So this is the same way what we did in the previous example. Go to the next example. So here a problem of SPT is given to three students A, B, C. Given to three students A, B, C, and whose chances of solving it are 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 respectively. So the problem is provided to three students A, B, C, and the problem is being solved by A is 1 by 2, B is 1 by 3, and C is 1 by 4. Respective probabilities are provided. Then what is the probability that the problem will be solved? Or second question is only one of them will be solved. Exactly two of them will be solved. At least two will solve. So they are asking multiple questions. So in the first question, the problem should be solved. So any either one student or two students or three students, any one of them are jointly, the problem should be solved. So we have to get the probability. So in the question they provided probability of A is solving the problem is 1 by 2, B solving problem is 1 by 3, and C problem solving is 1 by 4. So in the first question, any one of them will be solved that question. So we are taking as probability of A or B or C. So using the addition theorem for three events, probability of A union B union C is equal to probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B, probability of B intersection C minus probability of A intersection C plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. So here A solving is 1 by 2 and probability of A complement to A is not solving is also 1 by 2 only. So A complement is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2. And the probability of B complement is 2 by 3. This is complement. Similarly, probability of C is solving is 1 by 4. So not solving by C is 3 by 4. So these are the complements. So this is B complement for B person. And here these three persons doing, these three persons are mutually exclusive. So there is no common things. So probability of C complement is 3 by 4. So using addition theorem for three variables, probability of A is 1 by 2, probability of B is 1 by 3, plus probability of C is 1 by 4, minus probability of A and B. So both solving A and B. So here A, B, C, 3 are mutually exclusive events. So using multiplication law, probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B. So that probability of A is 1 by 2, probability of B is 1 by 3. Similarly, probability of B intersection C is equals to probability of B into probability of C. So where probability of B is 1 by 3, probability of C is 1 by 4, minus probability of A intersection C. Using multiplication law, A and C are mutually exclusive events, so that probability of A intersection C is probability of A into probability of C plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. So using multiplication law, as three events are mutually exclusive, so that probability of A into probability of B into probability of C. After simplification, we are getting answer is 3 by 4. So the problem being solved by probability is 3 by 4. So in the alternative way, we can find this like this also. No one is solving the problem and we are subtracting from the total probability. So we know that the probability of success plus failure is equals to 1. So here, if you want to get the success, that is nothing but to be solved, the problem should be solved, is equals to 1 minus problem is not solved by anyone. So not solved by anyone is nothing but A complement is 1 by 2, B complement is 2 by 3, and C complement is 3 by 4. So we are just taking those probabilities and multiplying. Again, we are getting the same answer. So in the next question, they asked you to calculate only one of them will be solved. Any one, either A or B or C. So in this question, there are three possibilities. When A is solved, B and C is not solving the problem, that is event 1. So in the event 2, B is solved, but A and C is not solved. In the event 3, C is solved and A and B are not solved. So in the question, they asked only one student should solve the problem. That is why in the event 1, we are thinking that A is solving the problem. So remaining 2 is not doing. So in the event 2, B is solving, remaining 2 is not doing. In the event 3, C is solving, A and B is not doing. So respect to probabilities we have to take. So probability for E1 or E2 or E3, any one of the situation may occur. So probability of E1 union E2 union E3 is equals to probability of E1 plus probability of E2 plus probability of E3. All the three events are mutually exclusive. So we are ignoring that intersection terms. So probability of E1 is nothing but probability of A intersection B complement intersection C complement. Similarly, probability of E2, where E2 is A complement intersection B intersection C complement, plus probability of E3 is A complement and B complement and C. So mutually exclusive events, so that I am writing the probabilities using multiplication law. For the first term, probability of A intersection B complement intersection C complement, that is probability of A into probability of B complement into probability of C complement. Similarly, remaining two terms also. So just substituting those probabilities. So probabilities is provided like probability of A solving is 1 by 2 and B is solving, that we can take from the previous slide. So B complement and C complement we calculated. So in the previous question, if you see, B complement is 2 by 3 and C complement is 3 by 4. Substitute those values and after simplification, we are getting the answer is 11 by 24. And in the third question, they asked any two of the students is solving the problem. So in the event 1, we are thinking like A and B is solving, C is not doing. In the event 2, A is not doing, but B and C is solving, jointly solving the problem. Similarly, E3 is A and C is being jointly solving, but B is not involved or B is not solving. So same thing, like probability of E1 union E2 union E3 is equals to probability of E1 plus probability of E2 plus probability of E3. Those are the mutually exclusive events, so that we are writing probability of A intersection B intersection C complement. So using multiplication law, probability of A intersection B intersection C complement is probability of A into probability of B into probability of C complement. Remaining terms also we are doing the same thing, and we are substituting the respective probabilities. Probability of A solving is 1 by 2, probability of B solving is 1 by 3, and probability of C is not doing is 3 by 4. So like that, substituting all the probabilities after simplification, we are getting answer is 6 by 24. So any at least one of them will be solved the problem, either one student or two students or three students. So all the situations are involved here. So at least two are solved in this case. Okay. Here is another example. A bag containing 6 blue and 8 red balls. Two balls are drawn together. What is the probability that they are same color or different color? So in a bag we have 6 blue and 8 red balls. So two balls we are drawing. So what is the possibility of getting that two balls are same color or different colors? So total 6 plus 8, total 14 balls are there. Out of 14 balls we are choosing two. So that two are same or different, we have to find the probabilities. So in the event 1, two blue balls. In the event 2, two red balls. This is the solution for the getting two balls are same color. So two balls are same color is nothing but either the two balls came from the blue or red. So event 1 I am considering two balls are drawn from the blue and two balls are drawn from the red. So probability of E1 union E2 is equals to probability of E1 plus probability of E2. So probability of event 1, we are choosing two blue balls. So we have 6 blue balls. So out of 6 we are choosing 2 over total possible cases is 14C2. So out of 14 balls, we are choosing the two balls from the blue color. So this will give the two balls from the blue color. Similarly, two red balls. So we have 8 red balls. So the number of favorable cases to get red balls is 8C2 over 14C2. So that is probability of getting two red balls. So the possibility is 6C2 by 14C2 plus 8C2 by 14C2. Similarly, different color. Different color is nothing but first one is blue, second one is red, or second one is blue. Sorry, first one is blue, second one is red, or first one is red, second one blue. So the combination of getting two different colors is blue red or red blue. So red blue. So if you see this one, first one is red and second one is blue. If you are taking the first one is red, so we have 8 red balls. So out of 8, we are choosing one red ball. So 8C1. The remaining one ball is from the blue. So we have 6 blue balls. Out of that, we are choosing one blue. So 8C1 into 6C1 by 14C2. So in this case, you are getting first one is red and second one is blue. Similarly, first one is blue and second one is red is choosing first blue one is 6C1. So out of 6 blue balls, we are choosing one blue ball, and the remaining one is taken from the red. So we have 8 red balls. So 8C1 by 14C2. So we have 14 balls. Out of that, we are choosing two. The two balls, one is from blue and is from red. So this is the combination will give the first one is blue and second one is red, and this combination will give the first one is red and second one is the blue. So by solving that, we'll get the probability. So there are few more examples on this slide. This link, this PPT link, I'm going to provide in the video description. Please go through it. Thank you.